This first design is called Micro Macro. Designer and model Megan Walsh, she used inner office envelopes, silver gelatin prints from her father's collection, mylar tape, and film negatives. Megan is a new designer in our show, although you wouldn't know it, how beautiful that is. The prints and negatives that make this dress were part of the collection that was destined for the landfill. And she told me this is just a dent into what was her father's collection. There's boxes and boxes and boxes of these. Thank you, Megan. That makes me want to go to prom all over again and wear that dress. Our next design is titled Gypsy Soul. The designer is also the model once again, Sue Weibel. She used promotional tote bags, you know, the ones that you always say you're going to bring into Wegmans but never do. Landscaping fabric, vintage lace trim, mosquito net, scrap ribbon and yarn, plastic soda bottles, coins, paper, and produce mesh. The first goal of this designer was to create something beautiful. The second goal was to present a totally feminine look. And Sue, you may recognize her, she's a second-year designer. Next is our McDiva, Alexis Collins. She's the designer, yes, that young, and model. So notice she's got McDonald's trash, such as sandwich boxes, wrappers, French fry boxes, milk jugs, straws, and of course, Happy Meal boxes and discarded toys. You might even recognize one from your childhood. There's a Hello Kitty in there. I think I saw a Dracula as well. This young designer's love for McDonald's and funky fashion gave her the idea to put them together. Alexis wanted to try to recycle a lot of the items that are thrown away every day. This stylish design might make you want a Happy Meal. And I know you all are thinking it. Ba 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 bum bum. I'm loving it. Next is Joan of Art. Designer Julie Thurber. Their model is Kaylee Gonzalez. Pay close attention. This armor silhouette features small watercolors originally created as jewelry in the 90s by the designer's mother and talented artist, Joan Fritz, hence Joan of Art. Joan, a good Catholic girl, followed all the rules. Excellent student, scholarship to Art Academy of Cincinnati, got married, got pregnant, just as pure as Mary herself. But that rescinded her scholarship when she got pregnant. So quickly, a mother of four, her art career was smoldered. But she persisted, and her art flourished. It is with great joy that Julie can upcycle her mom's art into her own creation. That is one design you definitely want to see up close after the show. We have the Baroness of Breakfast coming up next. The designer and model is Qian. She used thrifted velvet, gimme coffee bags, which means she must smell delicious, used twist ties, milk and orange juice cartons, and cereal boxes. This royal's favorite time of day is morning. So she hosts an annual summer solstice morning masquerade ball. She shines in her prestige and mystery. You can see those famous Gimme Coffee logos from far, far away. That second-year designer and model, Qian. It is Cinco de Mayo after all. This is a fiesta. The designer is Louise Richardson. Model Aaron Brucey. So what was used was an old cotton sheet, produce netting, plastic bottle caps, discolored onion skin paper, tissue paper scraps, old dictionary pages. Haven't seen one of those since about 1992. Used shipping strapping. It was inspired by a myriad of colors, textures, and this idea was conceived back in 2012. Thank you, Aaron and Louise. This next one is the Peaceful, Passionate Paper Princesses. Designer and models, yes, we have a lot of young designers, Nicole Gaskovich and Alila Yanovici. They use scholastic book catalogs, orange netting from clementine boxes, magazines, old school flyers, old calendars, and notebook spring coils and spirals. These ladies had the idea of designing their dresses with origami from the book Sadako and 1,000 Paper Cranes. The paper cranes represent hope for peace in every corner of the world. Butterflies, roses, stars, hearts, cranes, and swans make these dresses come to life. Thank you, Leela. Thank you, Nicole. And they're returning designers, too. This is a post-apocalyptic coronation. This post-apocalyptic coronation is designed and modeled by Amy Malziki, that is. My bad. Now, Amy's dress is made from plastic grocery bags ironed together to create a crinoline, plastic fast food restaurant cups painted to look like metal, and then cut to look like coils. Her corset is made from woven, used nylons, painted with metallic fabric paint. She's a first-time designer, although you wouldn't know it. Amy Malziki. This next design is titled Running in the Sun. The designer is Candace Phelan. The model is Carrie Sue Davies. What was used, or I should say reused, was magazines, denim, lace, embroidery, floss, yarn from sweaters, and plastic shopping bags. This designer states if we don't step up our challenge to recycle, repurpose, and reuse, our planet and sun will not be so kind to us. That inspired the brightness of the dress. The title of this next one is Cephalopodacious. The designer and model are the same, Dorothy Lovelace. Little Audrey Hepburn look as it starts. Materials used, tablecloth, curtains, bubble wrap, dryer vent tubing, and plastic grocery bags. This dress is an homage to aquatic cephalopods who are able to change shape and color like octopuses and cuttlefish. Dorothy is a returning designer, and she said using this recycled materials was to create new fashion, evoke similar transformational process to a cephalopod. Our next designer is a first-time designer. This is titled Official Africa. Our designer and model is Zita Angachebelu. She used newspapers, tape, bottle caps, paint, spray paint. She says this casual office wear dress, which is decorated with African prints, is good for every day and even a little waterproof, especially if you're somebody like me and always spills coffee on themselves. Again, that's another one you want to see after the show when they come out and you get to mingle with them after the show. The Nature Warrior is on her way out. This is designer and model Christina Gaskovich. Christina's love for stories of fantasy and adventure inspired this ensemble. The materials she used were leaves, CDs, bottle caps, cardboard, some repurposed clothing, and an old sled, which I think we're all grateful to see go in the trash. And just be warned, you don't want to mess with this fighter. Remember to use Recycled Runway as your hashtag. A returning designer, this is Michelle Biling. A crowd favorite year after year with her title Dystopian Incubation. Using construction fencing, something we're going to be seeing a lot of over the next couple months, and drinking straws. This is fashion without order. Appearance controlled by one's imagination. Michelle Biling, everyone. Welcome, Returning designer and model, Doreen Faber. 50 shades. Well, maybe not quite 50. But definitely enough shades to shine a little more light on the runway. Doreen's outfit has been constructed primarily from thrift store cast-offs, an old dance costume, sequin skirt, lace curtain tie-backs, for smoking hot red light-up stilettos. Need I say more? She also has one of her mother's rhinestone clip earrings and the bondage whip. Don't you want to know what it's made from? Black garbage bag and a battery-operated light. Doreen thanks Daniel Romelt for sketching her 50 Shades design. All I can say is I think Christian Grey would be proud. This is Lucite Fluidity with designers Anne Ricotta and model Ellen Wilson. This is multiple evening dresses, components of old jewelry, knitted flowers from somewhere or another. Ellen is poetry in motion in this dress. Every movement draws your eye to a new spangle. The skirt wafts like a butterfly, riding the wind, sparkling with jewels of past parties and romance. Whether you're on the red carpet or a forest path, you'll literally be walking in rainbows and lucite fluidity. Anne is a first-time designer. Now, I mentioned we have a lot of young designers. And again, Starlight Wishes from the Southeast Steuben County Library Fashion Club with Tatiana Buckles. I also have to give credit to Amelia Manning, Amelia Sparling, Nestralda Gross, Gina Park, Tiaja Evans, and our model, Ronnie Zinger, who also helped in making this design. They used cardboard, 3D printing scraps, paper packaging materials from the studio of Barbara Bloomer. Starlight, Starbright, first star I see tonight. I wish I may, I wish I might. Have the wish I wish tonight. Now this group was organized by Erica Unterman for the 4th year. See the fun things your kids get to do at the library? And hopefully you get to catch one of these Starlight Wishes. This next design is titled Tachi Recycle Sawteeth, or Elephant Recycle Friend. The designer is Jacqueline Dunbar, the model Antonio McMullen. Use newspaper, old party decorations instead of throwing them away. Bottle caps, a pool noodle, hot on the safari. Woven paper pants reflect the arid grassland of the elephant habitat. The bright color, a symbol of the sun's importance to plant life, the Hindu elephant god Ganesha is the god of wisdom, prosperity, and remover of obstacles. And just by looking at the design, you can see how much time it takes. Thank you, Antonia. Our next design is called Cuppa with a rumba beat, designed and modeled by Leah Corey. 3 years in the making, a Carmen Miranda wannabe. The rumba skirt is coffee bags with a recycled purple agricultural ground cloth slip and ruffles made from recycled paper coffee filters, attached to an upcycled sequin top, enhanced with a repeat of the skirt, topped off with a crown of coffee filter flowers. And the best looking Cuppa Joe I've ever seen. And this should come as no surprise that Leah is a returning designer. The next one is titled A Picture is Worth 1,000 Memories. Designer and model is Heidi Allison. It's photos of black and white, 35 millimeter film strips, negatives, film canisters with lids, photo packaging envelopes, photo slides, clear vinyl, silver mylar. So if you think about it, many of our precious moments are encased in silver and gelatin, preserved for a lifetime. Old school photography production results in massive waste, but it can continue to develop memories here on the catwalk. She even has the back seam. I love it. So Heidi not only has one, but two designs. This is also Heidi's design, Junk Food Junkie. Her model is Marley McAvoy. It's a lot of heat-infused plastic bags, junk food packaging of all kinds, chip bags, ramen noodle wrappers, six-pack soda rings, sweet cereal, cookies, cakes, candy. Now Heidi's obsession with candy and trashy foods is wrapped up here in a sweet, salty style. Her version of the rainbow diet is laden with sucrose and sodium. One little nugget for you. Heidi's mom owns the Crossing Diner in Dundee, and patrons contribute to the Junk Food Junkie just so she can make pieces like this to present to you. Our next one is Pieces. Designer, Yvonne Benjamin. Models, Kayla and Sam Benjamin. So chemo rips at the flesh with burning, gashing movements to break down the cells of cancer, right? Not discriminating against good cells or bad. As it unwinds, it throws the body into a fierce, heartbreaking turmoil. In these designs, baseballs representing human cells were brutally attacked and deconstructed. The ball is a small part of the game, while the cell is a small part of the body. These materials have been transformed like the metamorphosis of a butterfly. This is a release from old to something new and beautiful, as in the butterfly, the symbol of hope. Also, our designer, Yvonne, owns Magic Needle in Binghamton. So you can always like her Facebook. Go visit her. Magic Needle. This is the light versus dark. Now our model, the light, is Lila Drum. Our dark is model Tess Adrian. Our designers, I told you we have lots of young designers, are Wayland Elementary School's Girls on the Runway. Mentors Sam, Stevie, and Dawn Boss. So this third and fourth grade design group's inspiration was looking at the balance of the influence, light versus dark. So opposite, but when they influence each other, they each take attributes from one another to create a new collaborative new statement, allowing new ideas. They are first-time student designers, but their mentor is a returning mentor. Well, you recognize the music, right? It's Mardi Gras. It's a party. This is Mardi Gras magic. Our designer is Kathy Costley Sakona, and model is Katisha Sakona. Now, inspired by a second honeymoon to New Orleans, vintage masks, and the discovery of a box of wire of craft ribbon in Kathy's late mom's craft room, each of the hundreds of mesh tubes contains a zip tie, adding magic and movement to the design. Mardi Gras beads acquired on the trip contribute to the fun. I want you to notice after the show, they're on her shoes even. All inspired from a second honeymoon. Should we take a knee? This is designer and model Kathy Costley Sakona. Oh, say can you see? Jordan Edwards. By the dawn's early light, Philandro Castile. What so proudly we hailed, Reese Taylor. At the twilight's last gleaming, Tamir Rice. Should we take a knee asks us to consider several questions. What is the value of human life as compared to a symbolic piece of cloth and the words to a song chosen to be our nation's anthem in 1931 after 6 votes over 11 years? When, why, and how we protest, and whether the life experiences and realities of each citizen of our country are the same and considered equally valid. Now the coat, take a look. The coat is constructed of a repurposed flag and bears lyrics to our national anthem on the white stripes and the names of people of color killed by police on the red stripes. The cuffs of the sleeves bear the law officer's oath and prayer. The dress beneath examines the images, phrases, and objects associated with both sides of the NFL protest. NFL team items, recycled footballs, phrases, hashtags, cigarettes, CDs, and other items associated with the killing of those whose names grace the coat are incorporated in the dress. As we examine these complicated and deeply emotional issues, may we truly be brave so that this nation becomes the land of the free for all of us. I told you we're going to hit on a lot of issues today. This is another one. This is our working mother, Ann Milazzo Walters, who actually just went back to work. So we have a bunch of designers, Kate Milazzo, Sue Milazzo, Ann Milazzo Walters. Now, millions of mothers face the difficult transition that happens when returning to work. You got to provide the basic form of nourishment for your child through breastfeeding, right? Although the right to express milk in the workplace is protected, we know, by federal and state law, it can be challenging. Am I right, ladies? Amen. Now, symbols of breastfeeding and materials that a woman needs to pump are at work. So you can see pads, bottles, even her work outfit, which must allow access to pump. Now, I want you to look at her earrings. Her earrings are 20 cents, which is the 20% pay gap between men and women. Make sure you get a look at her shoes afterwards, too. Our next one is Proprietary Power. The designers own a shop you probably visited, Hector Handmade in Hector, New York. Designers Jessie Beardsley and Jenny Scarborough. Model Jenny Scarborough. So one thing you need to notice is this is made up of posters, bags, balloons, pussy hats, sugar and spice and everything nasty. Jenny and Jessie's design is an expression of their efforts to encourage a self-sustained community focused on inclusivity, creativity, and cultural responsibility. As new business owners, they co-created this strong and feminine look with retired menswear, including Trump ties, juxtaposed with Small Business Saturday promotional materials and pussy hats. If you have never visited their store, please do. Hector Handmade. Like them on Facebook and Instagram. This is another one you must see up close after the show. Thank you so much to Jessie and Jenny. This is the Dragoness. Designers Donna Bowers and Nicole Ortman. Your model, Nicole Ortman. Using cardboard, duct tape, newspaper, paper mache, old ribbon, paper towel rolls, grain bags, and cinnamon sticks from Four Fights Distilling, where Donna is the owner. In the beginning, there was a she-dragon. She was tender, caring, and soft. For a very long period of time, she vanished from our thoughts. After the fall, out of the ashes, she rises. She has pieced herself together from the discarded items of others and forced to become the fierce feminine known as the Dragoness. These are first-time designers, Donna Bowers and Nicole Ortman. From one dragon to the next, this is our devilish dragon, Sophia Lorenz, also the designer and model. She used plastic spoons and forks from her very own cafeteria at Horseheads Intermediate School. She also used a lot of neckties. Now, they started their creative journey by considering materials they were very strongly feeling, well, these need to be repurposed. So what did she do? Wrote a letter to her principal about saving utensils. He obviously said yes. The neckties sewn together bring color and personality to the devilish dragon outfit. Even note she has forks and spoons on her feet, on her shoes. Next up is Work Trash Fantastic 2.0. Designers Louisa Feeney, Nancy Getz, and Hetty Howe. Model Courtney Mayo. So the designers work together in a tax finance department, building on their design ideas from last year, where they utilized trash in the form of tax accounting guide and designed an elegant paper dress. They are now using trash from what keeps them motivated at work: coffee and shopping, because got to earn the money in order to shop. The designers collected bubble wrap, coffee pods, coat hangers, and tuned those everyday Zoll recyclable items into a beautiful metallic dress. Next is Native Species. Designer and model, Pat Jackson. She used thrift shop tablecloths, curtains, t-shirts, doilies, plastic and fabric shopping bags, leftover yarn, even Easter basket grass, wooden spools, champagne corks, plastic containers. This creation celebrates native species: milkweed, chicory, wild asters, clover, Queen Anne's lace, dandelions, and more. These plants support other species like monarch butterflies, honeybees, and other beneficial insects, as well as birds. Mother Nature as she intended. Mother Nature, or Pat Jackson, is a returning designer. Give it up for the beauties behind the scenes. These are the designers who did not model their ensembles. Coming out, ladies. Now I want you to give some love to the woman behind the scenes. Erica Unterman, come on out.